Hey traders, it's Theo here. Welcome to our weekly market breakdown. In this video, I'll walk you through the key setups I'm watching, major levels and trends, and what the fundamentals are telling us for the week ahead. If you want to stay sharp and trade with confidence, definitely this is for you. Let's dive in. We start with the Euro US dollar, and this is the weekly time frame. Last week, the price remained above the 10 weekly period moving average. This has bullish implications. The candlestick, though, closed as a doji candle. Opening and closing price were pretty much at the same level. Narrow candle, nothing special about that one. It means that the market didn't significantly move last week from Monday to Friday. We said the bearish engulfing and also bearish Marabozu candle somewhere in the middle will host the most significant amount of volume, and the price with a long leg doji on Thursday remained around this area. False break to the upside, didn't push to the downside neither, but on Friday an inside candlestick closed, meaning that the market now it's indecisive. It didn't create any lower low, neither a higher high. Based on this one, though, the market should have bearish implications. Based on the weekly time frame, the market has bullish implications. So there are two different biases here. The lower the time frame we will go, the different trends we will see. So in these cases, markets like that, we approach them as follows. If the price from Monday onwards breaks, let me point out some levels first so you have the relevant levels. For day trading, always we use the weekly's highs and lows, and also when we go to the daily, we plot. If we do 5-minute trading, 15-minute trading, definitely we need to put the daily's high, daily's low, as I do on the weekly chart. There are two scenarios here. If the price breaks the low of this outside candle and dip lower, the first support will be this one here. If the price breaks through that support, we can trade the retest if occurred, and we can go comfortably around this high because this fair value area can be filled, and from here the price it might bounce off. But if everything is going to be bearish, we're going to see the price reaching this level, the lower one. On the other hand, on the flip side, if the price breaks above this high, the next area of resistance we will see, it's going to be the R2 weekly high. Because this is a daily chart and most of us we trade day trading, if you scroll down to lower time frames like the 1-hour chart, you're going to find a lot of trading opportunities to capitalize on the moves. Next one, Great British Pound US dollar. It was a strong sterling. The sterling came strong actually last week, and that due to the interest rate decision by the Bank of England. And surprisingly, the sterling didn't follow the bearish news, and instead it pushed to the upside. So we have to adapt with that. But the price didn't make any significant higher high, and this can raise some concern. Anyhow, the previous week's highs and lows, they will become the relevant support and resistance for lower time frames. And also, again, I repeat, if you trade anything below the hourly time frame, then each day's highs and lows, they will be your strong support and resistance. The bias on the daily chart are more bearish as per these lower highs and lower lows. Although the price reached this level of support, bounced off, on the daily chart the price didn't create any uptrend. So if the price didn't create any uptrend and has everything that aligns perfectly with the downtrend continuation, if our bias are bullish, we have to act as follow. We go to the lower time frame and we wait for a new upward move from this point. This formed an ascending triangle, and it's one of the strongest continuation price action chart patterns. If the price breaks above the previous week's high, then we will hope for a retest to go long on this one here. And this is how I will approach this one. If we go back on the weekly chart, we see that the market has more bullish than bearish implication. If we refresh again the daily chart, we see that daily is down, it's not up, but the 4-hour or better the hourly time frame, it has a rising momentum. Based on that, we can wait for the break and we can go for long positions. Australian dollar against the US dollar, weekly time frame, bearish candle here, guys, rejected both the 10 and the 40 weekly period moving averages. Another weekly candle ended as an inside candlestick, which has more indecision. On the daily chart now, the market, if we apply vigorously swing analysis, there are some lows, highs here. If we start with, let's say, this area here, so we understand that the market was in an uptrend, false breakout, higher highs here, and let's say higher lows with that. No, that's not 100%, so we don't use that. If we go further, this high higher than that high, this low again, false breakout here. So the market, it doesn't look to be in a strong uptrend, and at this point here it made a lower low. Following this bearish momentum, compare this candlestick. This is how you do swing analysis and impulsive trend analysis, to identify if you are in a strong trend or not, or to identify if the market now it's going to get into a trend reversal. This downtrend from this point from here to there, created a lower low, clearly. The red candles formed this downtrend are much more in quantity and also in quality compared with these red candles they formed previously, recent downtrends. Looks like that this move is the strongest. It followed by retracement. The green candlesticks are very short and pretty much all of them remain within the boundaries of this red bearish Marabozo. So the market here has a strong bearish implication. So the weekly inside candlestick might gonna be the cause of the new beginning of a downtrend. At this point here, I want to go to the hourly time frame and wait for a clear market structure. The hourly is undoubtedly in an uptrend, higher highs and higher lows. The price made a lower low here and it consolidated around the middle of this last bearish downward move. What I want to see is the break of this one here. It might gonna take a couple of days, it might gonna happen fast, I don't know. But once I see the break here, I will wait for the reaches to trade this one. If you are trading on any lower time frame rather than the hourly chart, again, you can wait for the break of this one on the hourly, go to even lower time frames like the 5-minute chart and try to trade the retracements so you can enter short with the predominant trend. On the flip side, if the price breaks above the previous week's high, then we will consider to go long. We don't actually have a trend line yet. This market since Thursday, it's not clear, as you guys can see, and I apply very detailed swing and trend analysis to show you how you can do it by yourself too. So the biases on the Australian dollar, US dollar are more bearish rather than bullish based on the technical part we see now. USD yen, last week I was extremely bearish on this one based on the rejection of this candle with a long upper tail. It rejected two previous weeks high. It also rejected older highs. It rejected the 40 weekly period moving average, but the price didn't really move. We didn't have that much of liquidity and volatility last week, and the liquidity especially will shrink out in the next couple of weeks. So be careful with the spreads if you trade low liquid markets. I'm not saying that the USD Japanese yen is a low liquid market, but generally speaking, and stick to higher time frame trading rather than 5 and 1 minute chart until at least the first week of September from now on. On the daily chart, the price just moved sideways. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, nothing happened. The market opened there and it closed there. Absolutely nothing. What I want to see next week, it's a clear break, either above this high or below this low, and we will trade long or short accordingly. Based on the daily behavior, it's pointless to do hourly chart analysis because the market is completely sideways. The gold chart, weekly time frame, the price of course moved as expected. This bullish hammer kicked in some nice moves on the intraday basis. Again, the market didn't move that much, but it gave some good opportunities to those they primarily focus on gold trading. Here are the levels. I plot the weekly highs and lows as the support resistance. Remember, if we go to lower time frames, like now on the hourly chart, the market is very messy, but overall it has bullish implications. Be careful that the Friday's non-farm payroll fair value price, it's still on top. At some point the market, it will tap into this area here. Maybe it's going to do it this week. What you need to be aware, guys, this week is if the price breaks below this low support, we might gonna see a fast filling of this fair value area. At least this bullish Marabozu candle will be filled right in the middle, if not completely. But again, weekly time frame, it's more bullish than bearish. Now we are entering a strong area of resistance, and this is the reason I believe that if the price is going to break below the intraday support, we're going to see the mitigation of that fair value price from last Friday. This resistance is very strong, that resistance is extremely strong, same at this level, and then we have the all-time high. So be careful, don't be aggressive, try to take your profits, if you make profits from the trade, try to do it fast. The markets now, they're going to assist a little bit due to the August holidays, and many bankers, major bank players, fund managers, now they are taking their annual leaves, and there are a lot of bots that run random positions generally in the markets, and be aware of that. The platinum chart ended as a nice inside candlestick. I still believe there is a lot of room to the downside. This downtrend didn't finish yet. In this case, we have this bearish flag. Here is a bearish flag, and this can cause some further downward move. What I will be interested to see is the break of these lows here, and then the price to lead somewhere and land somewhere here. The levels we have to watch will be the previous 2 weeks highs and the previous 2 weeks lows. The lower the time frame, especially for the last week's moves, we're going to see just sideways consolidation. Next one, it's the copper. Last week the price absolutely did nothing. The liquidity and especially the volatility was so minimal. As you see the fluctuations here, they were between a support at the bottom and resistance at the top. Nothing really important. On the daily time frame, the price remained, as all of them actually, the candles remained the inside candle of the Thursday's 31st of July bearish candlestick. Now, what we do expect really on this one, I will just wait if I see a break of the S1 support or a break above the red candle's high, this one here, because realistically everything here now is sideways move, and at this point we will have clarity. If the buyers break above here, then most likely we're going to see some solid upward move. German 40 weekly time frame, nice bullish candlestick inside the previous bearish candle. The market is almost at its all-time high. Daily chart, it has more bearish than bullish implication, especially here. This inside long-leg doji candle formed last Friday can push the price lower. As far as I know, most of you are trading on the 5 minutes, even 1 minute time frame on this one. Some of you maybe 15 minutes. I just include the 15-minute chart as well. But what really matters is to understand that right now the price consolidates decline and this incline trend line. On this time frame, the price is more bullish based on this consolidation. But again, we are not here to trade what exactly it's going to happen in the market because we don't know. We are here to apply a solid plan and trade our plan. If you are trading on the 5 minute, I suggest to stay more to trade basically this one during the London trading session, also during the European trading session, which starts 1 hour before the London, and also during the New York trading session. It's absolutely fine. Be aware of the intraday support and resistance. What we see at this point is just this kind of consolidation. Let's say we don't have solid green candles creating higher highs and higher lows, neither solid bearish candles creating lower highs and lower lows to define if there is a strong buy or selling pressure on the chart. So we have to take it day by day and case by case on this one, but always put your levels and trade accordingly. UK 100. Last week the price ended as an inside doji candle at the all-time highs. On the daily chart, the market is overall in a bullish sentiment, but because we do day trading, we don't really look the overall sentiment because it's irrelevant if we trade on the 5 minute chart. What I like to do is to monitor the 4-hour price action as well as the hourly trend, and then I execute on the 5 minute chart. If you like to learn the same way, you just reach out to me and I will walk you through my strategies. On the hourly time frame, last Friday the market was more into the decline. Also Thursdays and Wednesdays the price was more bearish than bullish. At this point we are reaching this support. We also have this resistance. Depends how the London Open is gonna kick in, how the price will behave at the London Open. We're gonna see if we are at resistance and maybe we find some divergences on the 5 minute chart. We're gonna consider to go short, or we're gonna examine right on spot what we expect to happen with this one. Let's change this to red and we are ready for the UK 100. Okay, so here are where the things get serious now. The crypto markets are expected to experience a run. Now, if it's going to be a bullish or bearish run, we don't really know. I never buy the rumors. I just buy what I see on the chart. Bitcoin, it's in a solid uptrend. 4 weeks ago, it created an all-time high at 122,000. The price, if this week will, this week, it will end in about 6-7 hours. So if we see a nice long bullish candle and even covering the previous week's high, we're going to definitely see a strong breakout to a new all-time high next week. If not, we also have open business to the downside because really there are still some unfinished business down there around 90,000. I'm not surprising to see a nice push to the upside and then a decline to go short. I'm not surprised about the Ethereum. I explained you multiple times that I was expecting that move and I was positioning myself from early stages on very low prices with this chart because I explained that Bitcoin created an all-time high, Ethereum was on the decline, and this divergence between Bitcoin and Ethereum, it doesn't match with the traders and investor sentiment. So I was expecting to see some good reversals and moves to the upside on the Ethereum, and that's what happened. On the weekly chart now, the price made a solid higher high, so it took away the bearish engulfing implication. Now, definitely I'm going to look for the 4,500, I think. So yeah, 4,500 level next week, or maybe by the end of this candlestick. Solana, if we're going to see a nice push to the upside, then definitely the 200 is going to be the first target, 220 the next one. And I think that's our all-time high, yeah? This one here. Depends now how the Bitcoin and Ethereum will behave. We might going to see a nice rally on the Solana because now how traders they see it and how investors they react to the market. They saw that Ethereum already ran. Bitcoin, it has already run. Solana, it's still in the beginning. Maybe they're going to give a push to Solana, and if Solana is going to push, we're going to see something like 10-20% next week, maybe. But let's keep an eye on that. The LDAO US dollar was a nice surprise, especially yesterday with this bullish momentum. And yeah, next target is going to be the $2 here. Ripple or XRP weekly already made a new all-time high, so the market now is digesting the information. Let's see if it's going to push further, but I believe the game is going to be now between, for next week, Bitcoin and Solana. Let's keep an eye on these two, and we're going to be back for further market updates in a week's time.